Hi guys, I thought I might do a quick book update. I got some more books recently. There was some I didn't show on my other updates, so they'll all be in there. And I'd just like to firstly mention it's 45 degrees here today, hottest day in 70 years, and I think that'd be about 115, 116 in Fahrenheit. But yeah, so forgive me if I'm a bit lethargic and slow. It's very, very hot, and no air conditioner either. And I've just brought the camera down so I can see the books a bit easier, but yeah. First one up is zombie movies, and I showed this one in my update, and of course it's a book on zombie films. And this one chronicles zombie films from the dawn of cinema, goes right up to 2008, so up to date. So yeah, really good book. Next up we've got the Encyclopedia of Horror by Richard Davis, got forward by Peter Cushing, and this one is very old. As you can see, it's pretty beat up. This one's a hardcover. It's about, let's have a look, about 200 pages, and it's a bit dated. I mean, it's got some nice art in there again, but this one mainly focuses on the silent era English studio films like Hammer and Amicus movies. It's also got some chapters in there on zombies, vampires, werewolves, focuses around folklore and those kind of films. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, it's probably a pretty good book to own, but very hard to find, I'd say. And my guess would be there'd be a more up-to-date version out there, or some better options. So maybe skip this one. I still think it's really well written though, and it's still very interesting. So movies it focuses on are maybe a bit too narrow, but it's still a really good book. Next up we have the illustrated Frankenstein by John Stoker, and again this is a very old book, very beat up again. It's pretty thin, and this one focuses on Frankenstein films, as you can probably tell. Again, it's very well written and researched, and it's pretty concise and that kind of thing, but it's probably not worth it again because it's so dated. There'd probably be another book out there that would do a better job on it, I'd say. I still find it again really good for what I want. Probably not going to update it, but yeah, it's a pretty good book. And this one you can probably find in the op shop, which is where I found mine. So yeah, if you see this one, pick it up because I found it pretty interesting. Next up we have Shock Horror, and I saw this on Wild Zero's UK's update, or he had a video, actually an older one, and I saw it on there. I'd always wanted it, and this one's mainly, it's basically an art book really. It's got artwork from VHS covers from the Video Nasty era in England when all those films were banned, and it's just a really beautiful book. I like art myself, and horror art is really interesting to me, especially VHS stuff. I think it's really beautiful. So this one I find really aesthetically excellent. I just think it's a beautiful book to look at. The first 170 are just full page pictures of cover art, and it doesn't matter whether the film's obscure or whether it's a big film, they all get the same amount of coverage, so that's really good. And the first section is this kind of stuff. There's also a second section where it's reviews, and it also tells you the status of the film at the time, the controversy surrounding it and how it was cut and that kind of thing, so that's very interesting. And it's also got yeah, the poster up beside there again. Really nice to look at and really fun to read, really interesting to read. So I really enjoy this book. I'm really happy I got it. It's hardcover. I was also lucky too because my version's signed by the authors there, so pretty happy to get that. It was a bit of a bonus. And lastly, the last chapter has, I'll just find it for you. It's got alternative VHS covers that were released also. So yeah, it's just beautiful, really. Anyone that has an interest in art or just really likes covers and the artwork that goes into it would really enjoy this one. So yeah, if you're into that kind of thing, it's an excellent book. Really, really like it. Probably one of my favourite ones now, so yeah. Next up we have the Eyeball Compendium, and this is by Stephen Thrower, who'd done Nightmare USA, one of my favourite horror books, which is what prompted me to pick this one up. And it's, as you can see, it's very thick, very small, but very thick. And this one is excerpts from his fanzine from the 80s. It's also got interviews in there. It's got Yuli Lamel, he's pretty interesting. I'll just take a look, see who else we've got. Got Paul Morrissey, so Andy Warhol's horror director, Michelle Soavi, Cemetery Man, Alejandro Jodorowsky, El Topo, Magic Mountain. So it's a really great book. It's got really good writing. It's got some interesting articles in there. It's got Dario Argento, a day on the set with Lucio Fulci. So it's a really good book, very interesting, and it covers really obscure movies. Very, very interesting. What's that? I was just making sure I didn't turn to a page with something you couldn't see on it. So yeah, really good book. Yeah, top marks for this one. I'd urge everyone to go out and get this one. It's pretty cheap now, so yeah, get that one. This one is called Blood and Black Lace, The Definitive Guide to Italian Sex and Horror Movies by Adrian Luther Smith. And this one is probably one of the only books out there that focuses on giallo movies, which is what makes it so special. It's pretty thin. It's only 150 pages, but it's all colour, has a lot of poster artwork in there. And again, I'm going to have to be careful where I turn because some risque photos in there. So yeah, but it's beautiful. As I said, I love artwork and all that kind of thing, so yeah, it's just a bonus having all this beautiful artwork beside the good writing. And yeah, as I said, it's probably the only book out there that covers giallo movies, so for that it gets top points. And it's also a really good reference book if you're into giallo movies. Oh, I thought I had something there I couldn't show, but yeah, if you're into giallo movies, check this one out. It's a really good reference book. And yeah, I just wish I could show you more of this poster art. It's beautiful. Yeah. Lastly, we've got Inside Teradome, and this is one of the creation books, which is a series on all these different subgenres of horror movies and that kind of thing. And this one focuses on freak films or circus movies, that kind of thing. An illustrated history of freak films. And I'll just read you the back. Brief history of teratology, freaks in myth and medicine, history of freak shows, origins in cinema, influence of sideshows on cinema. So yeah, it's a really strange book. And this one, I'm going to have to be very careful where I turn because it's very graphic. And I'm not just talking boobies. It's very, very graphic, this book, the photos in this, so I'm going to have to be very careful where I turn. But yeah, as I said, it chronicles kind of freaks used in movies and sideshows, circus culture, that kind of thing. It's interesting in the subject matter it covers. I can't show you these pages. I'll try to find one I can. Jeez. It's interesting in the subject matter it covers, but it's maybe a bit perverse, I found. It's just, yeah, there's pictures in there from Holocaust camps and real life freaks, and also some pretty unnecessary photos of genitalia, which, yeah, I don't know why that was in there, but yeah, I wasn't expecting that when I opened it up. Yeah, in closing, I'd say it's a good book for what it covers, but yeah, it's a bit disturbing, so yeah. So tread carefully with this one, but it's still a pretty good book. Right, and that's going to have to conclude this update on I'm sweltering. It is so hot. Yeah, look for future DVD update collection videos soon. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. So thanks.